This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited.
Nicely done.
Well, thank you very much.
7 minutes and 50 seconds left. Both wide receivers are on the left side. Crutchfield and McNeil are the backs. Play fake by Todd. Lofting one deep down the right side. Nobody there except Sanford, who picks it off if he was in bounds, and he wasn't.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
A mild disagreement on the part of Sanford.
New York Jets 27 first downs. New England Patriots 5.
Let's watch it and judge for yourself whether Sanford was in bounds or not.
Must have both feet down. Makes the reception.
Oh, he's in.
Yeah, I believe it should have been an interception.
He might have been juggling it, and we were screened on that angle.
Hey, listen, with the Jets 27 first downs to 5, 349 to give it to him.
I don't think that's the way side judge Nate Jones felt about it. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Crutchfield bounces off one tackler and lunges to about the 30.
Well, I want to tell you, Waldemar, Fields, Alexander, Powell, Chris Ward have done an outstanding job today in the face of a defensive line that going into this game was billed as increased strength and size. And Lester Williams and Kenneth Sims both billed as playing very well against the run. They have just eaten up this New England Patriots defensive line.
John Roman is in the ball game now, number 61, at the right tackle spot. Third down, they need 6, and they'll wind up with the sack. Blackman got in on the blitz, Trump. 3rd sack for the Pats today.
Untouched. Nobody laid a glove on him, I don't believe. Last week in his first start, he had an interception, but you'll see here coming from the right side, I don't believe he is touched. Correct. You'll see 60 of the New York Jets. Dan Alexander looking the other way.
Back deep for the Patriots is number 27, Ricky Smith.
Ricky Smith stands back at the 10-yard line. Ramsey to kick, aiming for the coffin corner in this situation. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left now with the clock running. Both Ramsey and Camarillo have had good punting days. Smith makes the fair catch at the 11. A 30-yard punt, but in this situation, although it won't help Ramsey's average, it's a good net for the Jets since the Pats wind up at their 11-yard line. Cavanaugh's figures so far, Trump, 6 of 14 for 64 yards and a couple picked off.
And Stanley Morgan just 2 catches. Let me be the first to ask. Ron Meyer, when are you going to start Steve Grogan at quarterback?
Not next week is my guess.
But he'll be asked.
Hasselbeck couldn't hold it, and Meyer's woes mount. There was a play that developed well, and they just botched it.
When it goes bad, I mean, it really goes bad. He was wide open. Morgan cleared out on top of the coverage. Hasselbeck coming from the other side of the field. I believe that's the first time they've thrown the ball to Hasselbeck, and maybe that's why they haven't thrown it to him before.
One more look.
Took his eye off of it. Hadn't caught the ball quite yet. Was going to look upfield because he knew he was open.
Hasselbeck injured a knee late in the 1981 season, began this year 2nd on the depth chart behind Lynn Dawson. But Dawson sprained a knee last week against the Colts, and now Hasselbeck is back in there. Cavanaugh gets away, and it's intercepted. Jerry Holmes with his 2nd interception of the season, the 3rd time that Cavanaugh has been intercepted today, and the Jets have it back.
I tell you what, Cavanaugh did something very good at the beginning of this. That's his 3rd interception, as you said. He stepped up to avoid the rush.
A mass exodus,
yes.
Trump. I've never seen so many people rise in unison since they played the national anthem.
See him step up, but then there's no way the ball should be thrown. Bad choice. Watch this. Morgan standing there. Holmes, right place, right time. And here we go again.
3rd Patriot turnover. The Jets committed a couple in the first half. Todd looking to put more points on the board. Crutchfield wrapped up in a hurry. Clock running. We're down to 6 minutes to play, and the Jets are ahead by 17. And you're right, Trump. They're going to ask Meyer after the game, when do you go with Grogan? But you know that his answer at this point is going to be, no panic moves. I made a decision. This man is my quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, he said when he first came here back in January that by the third exhibition game he would make his choice. Came in with no prejudice for or against anybody. It's just the quarterback that played the best in the exhibition season, and he termed Matt Cavanaugh the best of the two, and he's the starter. It would be a big mistake to change quarterbacks presently.
Jets have made a couple of changes on the offensive line, which we'll give to you in a second. Bobby Jones was the target, number 89, and it falls incomplete. John Roman is in at right tackle for Marvin Powell. Joe Pellegrini is also in the game, first-year man from Harvard, and he replaces Dan Alexander at right guard.
Bob Todd now 16 of 26 for 153 yards.
Bruce Harper inside the 10. It was 3rd and 8, and I believe he got a little bit more than that. From the Jets' standpoint, just a couple of areas of concern. First and foremost, the injury to Joe Klecko, and we're still awaiting word on that. Here's Harper picking up 9 yards and the first and goal. Pittsburgh is now tied Cincinnati, by the way, 20-20. They're late in the 4th. And the other area of concern for the Jets, last week Tommy Vigorito burned them for a touchdown with a 59-yard punt return for the Dolphins. And the only Patriot touchdown today, a 98-yard kickoff run by Ricky Smith.
Good point.
Harper for a couple.
I can't remember, though, watching a professional football game that was so one-sided. When it came to yardage gain last week, I had Houston, Cincinnati, and it was close, but it wasn't this bad. I mean, the New York Jets are going to end up over 400 yards of total offense, and I think the New England Patriots still have less than 100. And I may be incorrect, but I'll say it. We'll check it later. I think they had 1 first down in the 2nd quarter, 1 in the 3rd quarter, and none in the 4th quarter yet.
Inside 4 minutes as Todd takes the snap and throws the touchdown pass to a diving Lamb Jones, but there's a flag down. It's against the Jets. Going to be holding. So Todd is deprived of the touchdown pass. He threw 3 last week. All 3 of the Jets' touchdowns today have come on the ground. Todd has 1 of them. Augustiniak and McNeil the other 2.
Actually, Todd threw 5 touchdowns last week, didn't he? 3 for him, 3 for them, 2 for them.
If you want to look at it that way.
Holding number 72 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Chris Ward, the left tackle, was holding. 2nd down, and the ball is pushed back to the 18. 3:56 remaining. Harper and Durking are the backs. 2nd and goal from the 18. Harper carries. And a gain of 5. Clock continues to run. New England has 3 timeouts remaining. Well, the Jets get to meet a couple of teams who were 2-14 a year ago in succession. A victory here today at Foxborough, then next week to Baltimore to take on Frank Cush's Colts. There's a difference between this New England club, at least there appeared to be, and the Baltimore team of last year. Even though each went 2-14, it was a different kind of 2-14 for New England. On 3rd and goal, wide open is Durking, a gift.
Absolutely uncovered. You notice that spike by the New York Jets? Not allowed by Ron Myers for the New England Patriots. 13 yards. It's been easy today for the New York Jets.
Well, except for the Smith touchdown run back. The no spike rule has been academic for the Patriots today. They haven't smelled the end zone.
This is just a swing pass out of the backfield. nothing fancy about this. They catch him in a total blitz, and I believe Sanford's the man in coverage. Durkin just waltzes in there.
Leahy's point after makes it 31-7 Jets with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the ballgame. The touchdown pass for Todd was his first today and his 4th of the year. What I started to say about the Pats, Trump, they went 2-14 a year ago, but they have 17 starters out of 22 who are first or second round draft choices. Also last year, they lost in overtime to Pittsburgh. One of the 2 losses to the Jets, the one in New York, was very close, went down to the wire. They lost that game where the ball was tipped in the end zone against Buffalo. They lost a close Monday night game against Dallas. They appeared to be a team that had much more talent than Baltimore's 2-14 aggregation. But you couldn't prove it by today's performance.
Yeah, one of the things that people have a difficult time understanding is why, with all those first-round draft choices, can't the New England Patriots win? Well, they're now 6 games into a brand new system, offensively and defensively. It takes time to adjust. And you asked earlier, what would a veteran of 30 years old, what approach would he take to Ron Meyer saying, look, you can't smoke in the locker room, mandatory weight training, no spiking, and all the rest of that stuff? If the team continues to lose, there'll be questions, but it takes a while to break the losing habit.
Smith will run it out.
Why not?
And stop shy of the 25. When this one is over, we'll go to New York. The NFL report. Glenn Berman, Mike Adamley, Pete Axtell, they'll be there. 3 minutes and 1 second remaining. 31-7 Jets. Kirk Springs made the stop on Ricky Smith.
No 98-yard return on this one. That is a heck of a pop.
Kavanaugh is still the quarterback. And his pass is dropped by Tony Collins. That's the second pass he's had dropped on him in the last 2 series.
This is the point in a football game that I think the NFL should look at and introduce a gimme. 2 coaches meet at the midfield. Ron Meyer says, that's good. Rest of it's good.
Trump.
I'm serious.
Trump. You're not serious, Trump. Under 3 minutes. Now this gets more serious by the moment for Kavanaugh and the Pats.
Kavanaugh now 1 of 8 for 20 yards in the second half. Mark Gastineau, the finesse pass rusher, and he really put pressure. Dwight Wheeler was the tackle that he was on, just pushed him right into Matt Kavanaugh. Again.
This is the 6th sack, and it belongs to Gastineau. Let's see if he does his act. Sort of restrained for Gastineau. On the previous play, it's Kenny Neal who gets credit for the sack. Was talking to Gastineau before the game and commented what a good actress his mother is. Have you seen that
Yes,
razor commercial that he and his mother do? Well, she's a natural-born performer.
Natural-born mother.
I guess there's no disputing that. 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining.
The New York Jet coaches told me that Mark Gastineau ran a 4.55.40 in training camp at 265 pounds.
Camarillo out of his own end zone. Harper lets it bounce and gets back to midfield. 47-yard punt and a return of perhaps 3 by Bruce Harper. There'll be one more play before the 2-minute warning. Pat Ryan is going to come in now at quarterback. The 5th-year man from Tennessee. Richard Todd's day is done. He threw 1 touchdown pass while he was in there. Bobby Jones, Derek Gaffney, and Jerome Barkham are the receivers at this point. Dwayne Crutchfield carries for perhaps 4 yards. We reach the 2-minute warning. And as is our custom at this point in our NFL coverage, it's time for another one of those fantastic finishes. A regular feature which we bring you at the 2-minute warning. So now here comes another one of those great NFL finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1978, Giants 17, Eagles 12. All Joe Pisarcik has to do is fall on it one more time. Wait a minute. What's this? A handoff. There's a fumble. The ball is loose. Herm Edwards grabs it and romps to victory. With less than a minute to play, Philadelphia stuns New York 19-17 with the miracle of the Meadowlands.
The word on Joe Klecko, he has dislocated his right kneecap.
My goodness.
Richard Todd, 17 of 27 while he was in there for 166 yards and a touchdown, and he also ran for a score.
Total yardage in the second half. New York Jets 213 yards. No kidding now, folks. New England Patriots 5. First downs for the game. New York Jets 29. New England 5. 3 of those in the first quarter.
Can almost read the score on the faces of Matt Cavanaugh and Ron Meyer. Dislocated kneecap, Trump. How often do you see that kind of an injury?
Very, very seldom, I would think. I don't know how you cure that. I don't know if that's surgery. There are ligaments attaching the kneecap to the leg. Whatever it is, it's not good.
Third and 4 from the 44 as we approach the 1-minute mark.
Mercifully.
Durkin gets the first down. New England showing no inclination to stop the clock, although they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. We'll have just a couple more snaps. Look at that. The second half yardage, 223 to 5.
The point we just made. That is amazing. And I think that 5 yards was the one completion that Matt Cavanaugh had in the second half.
He had a couple dropped on him, one by Hasselbeck, one by Collins, but outside of that, they didn't even come close to generating any offense.
In the fourth quarter, Gallows 24, St. Louis 7.
Ron Meyer on the sideline, undoubtedly thinking about the enormous task in front of him.
And this is a very, very critical press and media area.
Crutchfield carries. The coordinating producer of football on NBC is Ted Nathanson. The telecast of today's game has been produced by George Finkel, directed by Andy Rosenberg, technical director Steve Semino, associate director Doug Grabert, associate producer Michael Hadley. We won't have another snap. The Jets will go off with a 31-7 victory. A Pyrrhic victory for them, perhaps, with the injury to Joe Klecko.
That's the only bad point. New York Jets total yardage 394 for the game. New England Patriots 57.
Bob Trumpy, assuming that there's no strike, we go to Houston next week, the Bills and the Oilers. You want to give some odds as to whether or not we'll be there?
None whatsoever. I don't think we will be.
You don't think we'll be in Houston?
No, excuse me. I think we will be in Houston. I think they'll call a strike after that.
After the third game?
Yes.
Well, the Jets completely dominate here and win it by a score of 31-7. Both these clubs are 1-1. The Patriots have the Seahawks next at home. The Jets have the Colts on the road. For Bob Trumpy, I'm Bob Costas, and now stay tuned for the Budweiser NFL Report here on NBC. So long from Foxborough.
On the 20-yard line, and you talk about having to